Welcome everybody to our coverage of the 2021 Pro Masters Disc Golf World Championships in Johnson City, Tennessee, powered by Infinite Discs. You are watching MP50 Lead Card Round 2 Back 9 coverage, brought to you by BDub Pro. Providing commentary today will be myself, Cameron Makiling, and my good friend Grant Zellner from the PDGA. Let's take a quick look at the scorecards from the front nine. You can see Barry Schultz tying it up with Patrick Brown, and Ron Convers holding down third place back there, and Russell Britt kind of falling off just a little bit in the front nine. Hopefully we can see these guys put together some more birdies as we head into the back. And hole 10, 194-foot par 3. This one is short, but as you can see here on the flyover, insanely wooded. There is no clear line, I don't think. You're kind of just poking and praying that you're going to get through there.
Yeah, this hole kind of cuts diagonally across those tree lines, those various lines of parallel trees. You've got no choice but to create your own line. So you've got to pick a disc you're comfortable with, and then really commit to that first gap, and then after that, see what happens, like Patrick's doing here.
And that is great. He misses all of them and creates his own line there. It's really like you said, it's really whatever you think is going to be the best line for you.
Barry hit a tree root right there that kept him from skipping much closer. Ron saw that and decided not to trust the ground and ended up going long.
Russ going wide. Late tree, but that was great. I think he's going to have like that nice little 10-foot uphill putt there. A little left there for Barry.
Yeah, Barry
He's frustrated with that route.
Didn't like his effort either on that one.
Great birdie putt from Ron. Make that 2 as Patrick puts in his birdie.
Russ needs this. And gets it.
Easy. Pretty much a tap in there for him. And Barry looking to take his par. Short little hole, and we are going to move right along to hole 11. A little bit longer at 355 feet. It's going to be a par 3 for you. You want to start a little to the right and hope that you can work your way back to the left through the trees. And it's a little uphill. I'd say maybe 10 feet higher up than the tee pad.
Imagine stepping up to this tee pad and feeling like you finally have a more open shot.
Yeah, after the last year, this one, despite not being very open, definitely feels more open than the last 3 holes we saw. Patrick really taking advantage of all the space he has now. He goes long into the woods. Might still have a look towards the basket. Not really sure what his angle is going to look like from over there with all those trees. Ooh, Ron finds a gap. He's up there close to the basket. Probably maybe 15, 20 feet, I would guess. Russ going with a more inside line. Oh, and it rolls him back out.
Yeah, most of the time a rollaway is not what you're looking for, but in this case, it's going to put him in a much more open place for that approach shot.
Might have moved him to the most open spot on that fairway up there. Great flip up from Barry. And that carries nice and far. He's going to be circle's edge, if not inside the circle over there.
Russ, just a little far to call that a putt.
But buys himself a tap in there for his third. Wow. What a great putt from Patrick.
A lot more uphill than it looks on camera. He was down in kind of a low spot in that shrubbery. It's a shrubbery.
A shrubbery. Here is Barry Schultz, also for 2. Oh no! I might have jinxed him. Easy bird there for Ron.
You know, it's only day 2 of a long tournament, but these guys beginning to sense that some of these strokes are going to matter later on. And you can see that in how they react on some of these shorter putts in terms of how much they thrill at making one, or how much they really get upset when they miss one.
Hole 12, 238-foot par 3. Going to be OB on that path to the right, and also anywhere inside the creek. Actually, there's 2 lines on the edge that delineate the OB for you. So you want to get down to the green in one, and hopefully put it in for a bird.
Great shot from Patrick.
Nice and smooth.
You actually can't see the water from this tee box. You just have to kind of know it's there. You can see the one white line, and you've just got to have a good sense for your distance control on whatever disc you choose.
A little bit of grip lock there from Russ, and I think he's going to be kind of hard into the trees over there on the left.
Nice line.
Maybe a little shorter than Barry would have wanted, but he'll have a look.
And if you can get over the creek and land in that open space, you're pretty much guaranteed to have a circles look, for sure, even if you weren't thrilled with your shot.
Finding every tree, it seems like. Barry finally gets in on his 4th throw into the green. Sorry, Russ gets in on his 4th throw. Barry here, 4-2, makes a nice easy birdie.
Barry in on his 2nd throw.
Patrick not looking to lose a stroke here. I think we're going to see him convert, and we do. Patrick holding down a 2-stroke lead on Barry. Here's Ron completing the turkey here.
Ron staying in the conversation. And
Russ with another double bogey. That's going to be 2 of those orange guys for him today so far. Hole 14, 453-foot par 3. We actually missed hole 13 because there was a water line that had broken.
Yeah.
So you're going to see we skipped that. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But for now, this hole, big downhill play. You want to avoid the trees on either side, and you also want to avoid going OB right over the road.
These guys wanting to put a full-flighted throw down right here, which brings that road into play. It looks like that road is well off to the right. By the time you get down in that 350-foot range, it's not. It's coming into play hard. Patrick knows that.
He plays to the hillside on the left.
A safe shot, gives himself a circle's edge putt.
And Ron tries to go with the full flight, but it looks like he's getting caught up in that tree.
Not only that, that tree actually may have helped him. That road was coming in hard from the right at that angle. Here's Barry.
Hit that tree.
And this is what I'm talking about right here.
He just goes, and he might even still be going. After watching that, Russ goes with the safe hyzer. Going to try and do something more similar to what Patrick did, but gets caught up in the middle, but that is better than being out of bounds.
Ron with the approach. And off the cage.
What a throw.
That's 3 off the cage for Ron so far, and there are still 5 holes to go.
Great throw from Barry.
5 holes to go, I should say, including the completion of this one.
Unfortunate. But yeah, you'll see. Nice. You'll see here as the scores roll in, we're going to leave that slot for hole 13 blank because of the water line breakage. There was some crews. You can see the trucks up there behind Hayden. They were working on fixing that water line as quickly as possible.
Chainsaws, a tractor, I understand, was stuck very near the pin for 13. TD having to make a call for the betterment of the tournament to skip that hole for this round. Hopefully we'll get to see hole 13 a bit later on in the tournament.
And Patrick tapping in upside down for his par.
Disc golf was a sport that nobody knew about when I first started playing. I had to explain it to my parents, my family.
When I first started, I grew up in Ohio playing disc golf and just playing locally.
It was, you know, not as big of a deal. There was never a gallery. There was never video coverage. I've been touring for the last decade and seen this early point in development now to this crazy growth.
Parents can want their kids to play disc golf because there's a future there, there's money, there's professionalism.
I just imagine it just getting bigger and better, and I'm excited to be part of it.
And we're back at hole 15, 244-foot par 3. This one is uphill and a little bit to the right. I think we're going to see a lot of these guys going with a big turnover that'll get the right height for them and put them on.
At 244 feet, but that Annie kind of line you've got to throw, these guys are going to be throwing the disc really hard off the tee, considering they only need it to go 244 feet in the air.
Yeah, maybe a putter or a mid-range here.
But when you've got to throw as hard as they're going to have to, control becomes a challenge.
Got to get up.
But not for Patrick.
A little low.
Just a little low.
Break.
That's still inside the circle. Nice turn, got to stay in the air. Ooh, skips a little long. Still an easy putt there from
Excellent shot. Excellent shot. I would take that every time.
Great throw. Oh, it was looking really good. It just needed to miss that lowest branch there.
The last obstruction to him being parked, and now he's going to have something outside of circle two.
Great throw from Barry Schultz. Can pretty much give him a tap in.
Not Russ's day.
Ooh, top band.
Ron and Barry both a chance to pick up a stroke on the leader here.
Great birdie from Ron. Gonna bring him closer to that lead. Still holding down third place. Been doing a great job doing so all day.
Hanging around. That's what Ron does. That's his game. Consistency.
Barry with the birdie. Yeah, Ron really just seems like he's waiting for others to make mistakes.
Like I said, Ron hails from my neck of the woods where wind is a big factor in a lot of tournaments, and so you really do rely on your control. So I think he can lean on that on some of these wooded courses here in the eastern part of the United States. Again, lean on that control and wait and watch to see if others, slip up.
Hole 16, 180-foot par 3. This is a short guy, and it's downhill, and it's very, very protected by guardian trees right at the basket. So arguably one that you could jump putt even from the tee pad to get a nice straight flight and try and pierce into that. I think this is the most aceable hole I've seen yet.
It certainly is. It's extremely downhill.
See Ron going with a standstill spin putt. Gets the distance, a little more fade than he wanted, I think.
Standing on the roof of a 3-story building and throwing down into the parking lot. That's what this shot is like, and look what Barry just did, right through those guardian trees.
Oh, Patrick going with the tree kick. It almost kicks him right to the basket, but he's going to have a nice, easy putt there, I think.
Pretty obstructed by that one really thick guardian tree. He'll have to straddle out.
And that's the play right there for Russ. Just low and hard. Great birdie, getting things started here.
Could we have, would this be our first star frame of the round?
If they convert, if all four of them convert, this will be our first star frame of the round.
Thank you, Patrick. We're halfway there.
Barry makes it 3.
Pressure's on you, Russ.
He's got a 6-footer. That's a tester in my book, but probably not for him. Great, and there it is, our first star frame of the day. And better late than never as far as I'm concerned. Hole 17, 2 holes left to play. This one is a 352-foot par 3. You got to get up over this hill and work your way through the trees and a little bit to the left there as you see the basket hiding behind that second kind of lower hill there. And the ground does run away from the basket at the end there, so you want to hit the ground early and may hopefully not get too much ground play going backwards.
Yeah, especially if you miss long and right. Definitely could get the roll away. This hole, usually the finishing hole, changing things up for Pro Masters. Ron, what a shot.
Yep, he's going to be up there looking at an easy putt. Barry trying to do the same thing. Ooh, lots of skip action, but he is still inside circle and a little bit right, but that's an easy putt for Barry Schultz.
Barry, 352 feet and never more than 4 or 5 feet off the ground. Patrick trying to do the same, but the ground just jumped up and grabbed him.
Yeah,
right
gets
there.
a big flare, kind of stalls him out.
Come on, Russ. Not that far out.
Ooh, Russell tries to go outside, and he doesn't quite make that gap.
Struggling with his control off the tee just a little bit. Russ has been the last 8 or 10 holes.
And that was a great approach, though, from him. Good layup there, not wanting to run long from Patrick Brown. Barry Schultz picking up a stroke on the leader, making it only a 1-stroke lead for Patrick. And a second turkey here for Ron.
In for par, Russ.
And Patrick Brown going to tap in a par here as well.
Really thought that through when he really didn't run that approach shot there. He sort of took his medicine a little bit. He knew Barry was probably going to get a stroke on him. He knew Ron would as well. Just being patient right now.
Yep, not wanting to give away 2 strokes. Gonna take the medicine at 1. Last hole of the round, hole 18, 559 foot, par 4. The road on the left is going to be out of bounds the entire way down. And you also, for sure, don't want to put yourself in the bushes or all the shrubbery on the right. So that makes this kind of a tight alleyway for such a long hole.
I noticed the players talking as they walked up to this tee box. They really like this as a finishing hole.
Yeah, they had mentioned that the park doesn't like this one to be played because of how close it gets to all the parking down here, which is why it's not a permanent location for the locals. At least not this pin position. I believe there's a shorter pin placement closer, not all the way down by the parking lot.
Two in the fairway, neither as far as they would like to be.
And that's looking good. That was a great throw from Patrick, right in the middle of the fairway. Russ is swinging left.
Look out.
Stays in bounds, stays out of the water, which I arguably think is even better.
It's the last hole. He can change his shoes.
That's true. You can just take them right off, put the sandals back on.
Now you've really got to throw kind of a Anheuser to get into this green complex. Barry trying to actually throw a roller to get up into this green complex didn't quite work out for him.
Patrick ripping, hoping to just stay in the air and get all the way up there. And he buys himself a putt, but might be a little obstructed by those trees there. Oh, late tree. And very close to the out of bounds.
He hit the only tree that could have altered his line, and he probably couldn't see that tree from where he threw that shot.
Yeah, a lot of hidden trees and ghost branches here in Tennessee. Or I guess this is Virginia, but here at Masters Worlds. Decent bid there from Russ. Gonna give him a tap in there.
Patrick dropping to a knee. He does that. He's very comfortable putting from a knee. Does it even in times when another golfer might not. But he chooses to.
I think when you're as tall as he is, it just kind of evens the playing field. It brings you down to everyone else's level.
It does.
That was a great putt there from Ron. So confident. We're going to see a collection of pars, I believe, here on the last hole, which is not a terrible way to finish on such a big finishing hole. 559 feet is a lot to bite off.
Things remain tight here at the top.
Oh, actually a
MP50
bogey there.
card. Yeah,
from
Britt
Russ.
Russ, it just wasn't his day today.
Yeah, tough round. Solid round from Patrick Brown, maintaining the lead. And taking a look at the scorecard one last time, you can see Patrick Brown, Barry Schultz, and Ron Convers all coming in at 10 under par, going to maintain their placement as well. Russell Britt is going to drop off, however, down to tied for 13th. Take a look at the leaderboard. Lead card is going to be Patrick Brown, Barry Schultz, Ron Convers, and joining them is Matt Peckham, who is tied for 4th. Make sure to follow us at PDGA on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're not already a member, head to pdga.com and sign up today. Thanks, everybody.